Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back.
Hi, you guys. It's Kim and Latrice from Startup to Takeover. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Ladrice.
How you
Today?
doing?
Good, good. What about you?
I'm good. No complaints.
I know.
Honestly.
Yeah, we were about to discuss something about what you were drinking out of a wine glass.
Oh yeah, because I don't drink alcohol. So my teas. So I just made a tea from the herbs out of my garden with cilantro and basil. So I started yesterday. So I said I was gonna try to drink this every day because I was switching from remember I was doing basil, spearmint, and oregano. So because people are saying, to get toxins out of your body, we all have toxins all the time, they say. Cilantro is the best one. So I was like, well, I have cilantro. Let me see. I just love basil. I really, really do. So I was like, let me see if I do a cilantro and basil tea, right? And so when I looked it up, it was kind of say, well, some people might not like the mixture together because you have citrus, right? Cilantro give you more of the little citrus-like flavor. But baby, it's my favorite tea.
I see. I'm gonna have to try that because it looks good.
Yeah, it's really, really tasty to me. It makes me feel like peppermint, even though peppermint it's like a minty flavor. That's the cilantro, of course. But it's really, really good. So I just take the flower buds as the basil start to, if you don't pick it, it'll start to get the little flower heads. And they say the flower heads make the basil a little bit sweeter. So in all my teas, I use the basil. The basil flowers as well as the leaves. So yeah, and I just steeped it in the hot water for like 10 minutes and then I drink it, But baby, yeah, it just tastes so good to me. Yeah.
You over there tingling. You up there tingling, huh?
Yeah, but I always drink my teas out of my wine glass since I'm not a drinker. As far as alcoholic beverages. So I put my teas in there. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that because you know what? I never even really thought about that when we boil water and put tea bags in the tea or open teas and put it in the water, let it seep and then drain it. So why wouldn't do that? So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you can dry some stuff, right? You could just take fresh. So I just take fresh out the garden. I haven't been touched, no dehydration, no nothing. Just put it in there, and I don't know if it's better because it's fresh, but I would think so because you haven't done anything to it. But it's different like if you're making an oil, right? Some people say when you're making oils, you can boil it, keep it low. And some people like me, I like to do cold presses because that's where I'm getting no heat to it. So I don't remove any nutrients, right? Because any heat is going to mess with your nutrients, even if it's just a little. So, but for drinking, it's just let it sit there, honey, seep. And yeah, I don't know. You just make it fit. It's so minty. But I love cilantro. Like my daughter, she can't stand cilantro. So she would not be able to drink tea. But I love me some cilantro. Yeah.
So it has your body feeling minty, huh? Tingling.
Yeah, clean. It's like you just get a clean feeling, and it does, like I was telling you, as they say, the heavy metal, the toxins, to
Right.
get that stuff out of your body. But yeah, I like it. Bone
Okay.
health, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. And
Yeah.
it seems like it put a little jolliness in you as well, huh?
I think I do that when I drink a tea out of a wine glass.
Okay. Because
So because my son, I normally give him the basil, mint, and oregano, and my husband those teas. But this one I just wanted to try it different. Yeah, and so this is the one I've been drinking versus the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going through, I'm gonna have to try that every day. Every time we speak, I learn something different or new, like health wise from garden type food,
Yeah, and
your own,
that's the
your
beauty,
own.
man. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
thinking about how they are it's so much pesticides and
Yeah.
germs on the ones that are shipped to the stores
Mm-hmm.
versus the ones you at home. Because when you pick those, the only thing you do is wash them, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's the other piece, in the stores, they're not fresh, right? Because they had to travel, right? Shipment. And so it is just fresh if you can get it, and this is why I tell people it doesn't matter if you're in an apartment, because this can be grown, on your deck, in bags. That's the great thing about herbs. It can be grown in a small little pot. It don't have to be anything major to get these healthy herbs for ourselves. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
talking, we're just talking anyway. And so one of our questions today would be, what? When did you first come to believe in Jesus?
Yeah. Because like for me, right, our grandmother being a pastor.
Uh-huh.
A few of you guys, I can't remember which cousins. I just remember we was at her church, her little church. And I
Don't do
remember,
it.
how you get the I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, don't do it, because we used to be the choir.
Oh, sure. I forgot. Yes, we did. So I was in two choirs, girl. I only remember
Stop
one.
it.
That is funny. But I remember, so when you get that feeling, and I was like 7, but when you get that feeling like I need to go up there, you get all warm and weird. At least I did, right? It's like, when they invite you to come and get saved, and I was like, do I go up there? I think I'm gonna go up there. And I wanted to go up there, right? And then I was like, I'm not going up there by myself. And my cousins, I can't remember which ones, had got up and went. I said, ooh, it was my opportunity to go, right? Mm-hmm. So I recall, because she's Methodist, so it's just a sprinkle over the head. And so, and we was like, oh, you get baptized, get dipped in the water and stuff like that. So as an adult, I remember I actually did. I actually got dipped in the water. Yeah. In 2003, as I call it, just recommitting, because I was a child, I was really little. And so I rededicated, as I call it, myself, and actually got baptized, dipped in the water. So yeah, I thought that was a good question to have as something that, we would ask someone when we're dating, when was the first time you was introduced and believed, in Jesus, type thing. Because it can give you a little familial background, right, about the person that you're trying to get to know. You can find out, because even at my elementary school, there was a church probably about 5 miles from it, if that. And so we would do vacation Bible study, different things over at that church. And I don't recall my parents sending us. It would be when they had stuff, week-long vacation Bible study, and then we would go for like different stuff that the church had. So I had, as a child, I went to a few different churches, even outside of my church home, but all of them was about Jesus versus any other Buddha or anything like that. What about you?
Well, like you said, When we were small, but I didn't realize what I was introduced to. I didn't realize that I was introduced to Jesus. Like I'm just going to church and having fun.
Wait a minute,
That
Kim,
makes
stop. Hold on.
okay.
What do you mean? You didn't realize you, huh?
I
Say that
didn't
again.
realize I didn't realize that I was introduced to Jesus. I just realized that I was introduced to church, going to church, and I didn't have the understanding that I was being taught about Jesus. I was in my mind, I was just going to church, having fun with my family and friends. They're praising the Lord, but I'm not understanding that. So at a young age, I was introduced to it, but didn't know it. And I think I didn't really know what I know until an older age. I was introduced to it. You can say, when did you first come to believe? Is the question.
Mm-hmm.
When did I first? I was introduced to it as a child, grew up with it, but when did I first come to believe? And I have to say, I first came to believe as an adult, as a older adult, not as a teenager, not as a, a, young adult, probably not even as a middle-aged adult. I did believe, but believed no. I didn't even understand. No. I
I'm
started
not talking
really
about deep now because that's going to take studying, right? So everybody's a
what
baby in Christ. So I'm just saying, first come to believe in Jesus. Am
yeah.
I answering that question right?
Yeah, when did you first come to believe in Jesus?
So let me
When
ask you
did
this: so when you're saying when you was a child and our grandmother was, she talked about Jesus
yeah,
all the time. You didn't believe what you was hearing, or were you not paying attention? Let me ask you that: were you not
that's
paying
yeah.
attention?
So
Oh,
that's what we're getting to, because I
that
was saying it in a different way where you weren't understanding what I was saying. That's
yeah.
what I was saying, immature. I wasn't paying attention. So
No, I got that, but I was trying. I didn't believe it. Let me say that. So I was trying to get you to elaborate so I can make sure I was hearing you correctly. I got so
yeah,
you just weren't paying attention.
I
At,
wasn't paying attention to what they were
oh man.
praising. I was having fun.
But so let me ask you this, because Granny raised you, so you also in the house with her.
And I'm telling you that we had a conversation. You remember, I told you that because I was with her everywhere now, because she was the minister now, she was doing everything, but I was just having fun, and I'm being around her in times when I was around her all the time. When she got up in the morning times, I was right there. So she would be on her knees praying,
That's what I'm
and I would
saying.
be, yeah, but I didn't understand what I told you. I used to mark her when she would sit and she
No,
would sit
I didn't
down
know
and
about the
pray.
marking.
I
Mm-mm.
used to be up under her while she's
Mhm.
praying, and I would be looking at her lips moving and laughing because I didn't
You've never
understand.
told me that. No, I didn't know.
Yes. And now
Oh,
when
okay.
she passed away and I became going through this journey, and I'm who
Uh-huh.
I am,
Uh-huh.
and I always go to her and I'm always like, so this me marking you. Now I'm like you. This me marking you when I used to
Oh,
be
wow. I
up
got you.
under
Okay.
her. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
did. I was not paying attention. I was immature. I'm telling you, every time we
Yeah.
talk, I tell you I'm
Mm-hmm.
immature because I was
Yeah.
immature and stuff. I was just having fun. I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't paying attention to anything. Just
Mm-hmm.
having fun with my family, my friends. I knew my grandmother had me, so I wasn't worried.
Mm.
So I've just learned, being an older adult, Jesus. I heard her say it all the time. I heard her pray, talk, didn't understand what she was saying to nothing until an older adult. Then I first believed in Jesus. I
Okay.
knew Jesus. It's a different thing in hearing and knowing about him, but believing. Until
Mm.
I didn't have her anymore,
Mm-hmm.
they're praying and hearing her and teaching me, until now I believe in Jesus. Because now I'm cooking it in the kitchen and going through it.
Mm. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So that's how that goes. and I have to have compassion. That's where the word comes in at, because now that I'm filled with the Holy Ghost, sanctified, as they want to say, I want everyone else to be that way. When my grandmother was doing it and we wasn't her way.
So wait, hold on. And we wasn't her way. Say that again. When my grandmother was doing it and we wasn't her way.
When she was praying and wanting us to be in the Lord and the word, we wasn't doing it. So I have
who is we? Because at 7, I was praying to God since 7. I knew who Jesus was and believed it.
But not
you said we. So I was like, who is we?
I'm saying family members, people that I were around. We thought she was crazy. We thought she was not really crazy. We thought she was.
Hi, you guys.
We thought she was playing.
First time hearing this, I didn't know, because Kim is my older cousin, and so as we always say, dad's side, mama's side. So Kim is on my dad's side. So there's a lot I didn't know. But no, I never knew y'all thought Granny was playing. Girls, you are.
We didn't really, not crazy is not the good word. We used to make fun. Because she was the preacher and she was preaching all the time.
And you know what's so crazy? So for me, I put her on such a high pedestal as a child because she was a pastor. So that's what I'm saying. Our view is so different, right? Yeah. And but then our upbringing, and I get it. It's just
because like you say, you wasn't around her like I was.
Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't, but if I was around, I would have believed it even more. I think that's the part that's blowing my mind.
Because that's what I'm saying.
Because I already believed in Jesus. So if I'm around her, shoot, I'm gonna be trying to take some stuff from her. That's what I'm saying. Versus
because your
both my parents, my mom too. My mom made sure we was in church. I was in the choir at my church, which is I almost said the name.
And it was a difference.
It is.
I was with her. So she was dragging me all the time, girl.
And I think that's the shocking part for me. I think I'm trying to relay is you're with the pastor and you guys.
That's why they say pastor kids are a mess. My granny used to be in the church and everything I love. Me and another one of our cousins, we used to be out in the parking in the where they park the cars with little boys driving the car back and forth. Because we would be like, Granny, let me get the keys because we want to go out there and get a fan or something. We would want to go out and get, girl, we out in the parking lot moving the car back and forth playing. You don't.
No, I get that. That's basic. Yeah, I mean we played. We had a store behind our church, and my mama business was behind the church. No, I got that. What I'm trying to relay is, I guess I'm not understanding. I don't know. My mind is blown. Yeah,
because she was the pastor. She was like the ones that were around me and her all the time. Like
sound like y'all were bad. So is that
we were?
No, I'm trying to get to it. Like y'all sound like some bad kids because you have a pastor here and you see what the pastor's doing. And you say you're sitting there mocking her. So to me, it just sounds like some bad kids. Yeah. So you were just bad. But you got to think now. I go backwards. So look at yourself and then think of me because I'm your baby cousin. So you remember more about me than I would at a younger age. I wasn't bad. I was never bad. I was never a bad child. Right.
Yes. That's what I was telling you.
Yep.
You were off from us. You wasn't off from us, but you were like me. You was off from me and your other sister and your other brother. Like you were off from us. Like they were with us.
Yeah.
And when they were younger, I don't know how they, did with our grandmother because we were all young, and I'm not looking at what they did, but I know what I was doing in the. My little circle, we would be,
oh my gosh,
and everything because she was our grandmother. We didn't look at her as the pastor. We looking at her as our grandmother, and our grandmother over there preaching to everybody, making us make ice cream, or got these people in here doing
girl, cut it out.
Yes, we janking on the people in them eating the ice cream, making ice cream. We were
you're gonna be a kid. I got that part. That I don't think that has anything to do with her being a pastor. I think that's just being a kid, right? That piece. That's just being a kid. I think the part that I'm separating is not from being a kid. You're a kid. It's the not believing and laughing at her praying and you saying that that's just your grandmother. No, I'm not saying you wasn't, but I'm just saying, just the difference in kids and how they process stuff. And but it was just what you saying, the immaturity.
Yes. I was up under her 24/7. So
it don't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if you was up underneath her or not. It was how you process stuff as a child. That's not gonna matter. There are kids that are under, past. Yeah, that's all it was.
It was, I know now, like I said, I didn't understand until I actually had to go into the kitchen and cook it up and believe it myself. And that was in an older age that I'm really believing. I would pray, but did I believe what I was praying?
Oh my God, girl, what?
I was praying because I didn't know any better. I was just thinking,
you can't use that you didn't know any better.
I did not. I did not.
You're right there.
But that didn't
break
mean
that down for me. How do you not know better when you?
Because I wasn't paying attention.
See, okay, and then that's what. Well, were you not? If you sitting there next to my grandmother while she moving them lips and you over there mocking her, were you not?
That's right, because there was other things in our family going on, other traumas, other everything. Who thinking about that?
Wait a minute. So were you like me, where you wasn't believing because you were judging? Because remember, it's not judging. I think we're analytical. I really think it comes out judging. Right. That's what I say. I think it really wasn't judging. I think it was analytical because we see stuff. Yeah. So we're processing stuff. Yeah. And so I wonder if that had you question versus, and so, versus really just not paying attention. I think you probably paying attention and you just saw stuff.
Yeah, I just saw a lot of stuff and I saw a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff was happening. So Jesus never came in my head because even though she was a pastor and we talked about it all the time, when stuff would happen and stuff, Jesus would never pop in my head to pray or nothing.
Wow.
You remember that incident we had as a little kid, trauma? Jesus didn't pop up in my head nowhere. You know who popped up in my head? That woman who came and got me.
Oh, Granny.
That's right. That's who popped up in my head. It was no Jesus. She was the Jesus. That's what I'm telling you. Until an older age.
No, you didn't.
Yes. Until I realized. Yes. Until I realized she is not Jesus. She just.
That's it. Yeah.
Of God. She's a God. She's a God-fearing woman. She's a. She believe all in everything in Jesus. I don't care what she does or act. She still everything come in her mouth is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So now I'm getting into stuff and I'm still not understanding because I'm still running to her when I'm going through everything I'm going through for the answer instead of going to Jesus. Even though I'm there with her learning, I'm still running to her for the answers instead of Jesus. Being married, everything until I couldn't run to her anymore. I had to run to Jesus. Now I'm believing. I'm believing Jesus now because now Jesus showed up and not Granny.
Now, is that about believing in Jesus or is that the growth in your relationship with Jesus?
It had to be growth with my relationship.
Right, because I don't think that ties to believing. I think when you said that, just part of just threw me off because that sounds more like your growth now. You're going. I think you already had your belief in. Well, I can't say if you had a belief in Jesus because you're saying you didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know. That's why I say like I didn't know. I didn't know. Even reading, you can read something and can't comprehend it.
But that's not about not believing in him now. So that's what I want to make sure that my question that I'm posing is I'm posing it right. Because I'm not talking about the strength of your belief. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more so along the lines. So when did I
first come to believe in Jesus? Just because I knew Jesus didn't mean I was believing in Jesus. The question is, when did you first come to believe him? Not when you met him. When I first met him,
but then you said you was like after Granny died though.
That's when I came to believe in Jesus. Like I had nothing else to believe in. Like I didn't know. I came to believe in Jesus and like really believe who Jesus is, learn him.
So so let me ask you this. When did you start praying on your own? I ain't talking about consistently. Just when did you pray on your own?
I prayed on my own a lot of times, but I didn't believe who I was praying or what I was praying. I didn't even understand.
Wait a minute, hold on, stop. Sure. Okay, let's dive into that. That's good. Okay, That's good. That's good. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, this is mind blowing to me. I didn't know somebody would pray to somebody and not believe in what they praying, but they praying. So were you just doing it? You was regurgitating it, checking a box?
I don't think I was checking the box. I think I was doing it because that's all I saw. That's
Oh
all I
wow.
saw going to do is pray, pray,
But you
pray.
said you
So
didn't believe in it. So
right, but I'm just doing what I saw. That don't mean I'm believing in it because I'm doing it.
no. That's why I said you regurgitating. You just repeating what's happening.
Right.
That's all
I'm
you were
just
doing. But you said
right.
you
I'm just
wasn't regurgitating. I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, you would be. That's
yeah,
you just doing it.
yes, yes.
Oh
And
wow.
then I
See, now
looked
that's
back
mind blowing for me
now.
because I didn't know people actually did that. Because I call that
Yes.
playing with God. Oh,
No,
I got
no, no. And I look back now. I don't look back. God let me go back and see everything of how I was praying and how he kept me. And I didn't even know I was praying those prayers because I didn't understand who I was praying to and what I was praying
what?
for or how I was praying. I go back and see that now, like in visions. And I was like, wow, I did pray that. And wow, Lord, thank you. Because I didn't understand that because I thought something else. People might be thinking I'm crazy, but I did. I was
Girl, I'm
immature.
up here. My mind is blown right now. You ever
Yes,
heard like that's I'm sitting
yes,
here with my hand on my head, like I can't believe someone would actually pray to Jesus but don't believe in Jesus. I'm not following. I'm totally lost.
I
And
didn't.
I guess
I
that's
didn't.
why I'm
It's not
wondering
that
if
I
you're
didn't
tying
believe
it
he.
into your. I wonder if you're
I didn't.
tying it
I didn't
into.
know Jesus. I didn't know him. I may be saying it like where you can't understand it. I
I feel like
believe.
you taking it deeper than what I'm asking. Maybe but I feel like that, but that don't mean that's what it is.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because I am saying, when did you first come to believe?
That's
Because it's
right.
like there's no way I would have been praying to him if I didn't believe in him. So to hear someone
Why?
say,
Why?
because
If
what?
I'm around it all the
Because it's
time and I'm supposed to do it. I'm
no,
supposed
no, 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 no. That
to
ain't.
do it.
So go back to you as a child, right? I'm taking
Mhm,
myself back as a child. I'm about little.
mhm, mhm.
And all the people we were around, you weren't just around. Were you just around Grant? Ain't no way.
Everywhere she went, I went. Even if it was with the people, with our family, she was there.
And so
She
when
was
you
there
went to school, okay, I guess but you
when
got
I
to
went to
remember,
school.
I'm also thinking
Yeah,
with me in elementary school, I went to Bible study without my parents, right? So they let us, go to vacation Bible study,
no,
not even
no,
just at New Zion, right? This is the church. I forgot the name of the church that's by my elementary school.
no.
So I was around it all the
Mm-mm,
time. So
mm-mm.
wow, it's just mind blowing to me.
When I went to Bible study, we went to Bible study with Granny. We went to Bible every church, everywhere I went with her until I got grown. Then I started going with my husband and children.
But you were saying, but you didn't believe in it. So why were you were going just because you was taught to do
Because
that?
I'm going,
Yep.
because I can't make you understand what
No,
I'm
yes, you
saying.
can. I just called it because you were doing it because it's
No,
just what
that's
Granny did.
right. I was going to church even with my husband and children because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And even I was going to church, taking my kids to church and getting them baptized and didn't know until studying, still didn't know, going in the choir, singing in the choir,
Oh,
laughing and
girl.
thinking that
Oh my
because
God.
I didn't know. It's like it's just a testimony. I'm just telling the truth. God knows my heart. He know I didn't know. I didn't really know. I knew it was a God because that's all Granny said. And she always pray, 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 pray. That's why I tell people, tell them why they praying. Because people be like, pray for what? Pray. I pray ain't nothing happen. So just tell them something of why you're praying because
Y'all,
that's
Kim have sent my brain down a rabbit hole. I'm over here
yeah,
so blown right now.
yeah,
I, I,
I
I
did.
just because
I
I used to
knew.
say this like as an adult. I recall when I was living up here. I think I was like maybe 26, 27, right? And I
Mhm.
used to be. This was when I was in the military. And by that time, I had seen a lot of stuff. I've been out of the country, living out of the country. I've been, so many different places, stateside and overseas. And just by lifestyle, I was just like, man, people are just checking the box, right? But I didn't tie it. I didn't tie it to they didn't even believe in Jesus. Like
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Because you can make mistakes and still be doing the wrong stuff and believe in Jesus.
Mhm.
So it's
Because
yeah, my
I
mind is
I
blown,
believed I believed it was a God, but
but not
Jesus,
Jesus.
it
Mm-hmm.
was three, the one but three. The Father, you got to go through Jesus to get to the Lord.
I ain't talking about all that. It's just yep.
No, I'm
But
just
you
saying
just
I
didn't
didn't.
believe in
Not
Jesus. Yeah, I got you. I
understand.
got
I
you. It's
didn't
just
believe in Jesus. I didn't know
as y'all can see, Latrice is stuck over here. I guess we got to move
who he
forward. But
were.
I'm
I
stuck.
didn't. I knew it was a God. I prayed and I was like,
Yeah, me,
things
my
are
husband,
happening.
and my kids went to church. I got them baptized, but I ain't believing Jesus. Girl,
I did.
wow.
And when I got up there to get baptized, I said, I am not following. I can remember like day, but I'm older now with my kids and they're older. And I'm like, I'm going up there to get, rebaptized because I already was baptized with Granny. So I'm going up there to get baptized with my family because that's where I think I'm supposed to be. I'm going and I'm telling the pastor, I'm not coming up here getting baptized to follow you. I'm following the Lord. But after I go get baptized, so much stuff happens. And after that,
because you ain't believe in Jesus. Stop playing. No, I'm being funny. No. Life, because here's the thing. Life still, wait a minute now, you guys. Life is still going to happen.
I did not believe in him like
but that's what you're saying. That's why I need you to be clear on this. I need you to be clear on this internet, honey, because you are throwing me for I'm lost.
I did not. But I do now. I believe it was a God. But I didn't believe like Jesus. Like now, you can't tell me his name is not a Jesus. Like what? Like back then, I'd be like, what? Who? I'm listening to God. I can't make you understand. It's just the Lord knows. But I do now.
But that tells me there are more people out there like that, though. Because if there's one, there's a lot more.
People don't understand because they don't understand. Some people don't understand. Some people don't pay attention. God already said everybody won't believe who I am, believe my word, but those who do believe the word of God. He knew I believed. He knew I believed.
Wait a minute, believe what? Now you're saying he knew I believe. It's
contradictory. No, I'm saying God because he knows me and I don't.
I ain't talking about God. I'm talking about the Jesus. No, we're not gonna do that. You don't get no pass on what he knew I believe. No, because you didn't believe.
Well,
he may have known that you was gonna come to believe, but no, you can't say I didn't believe, but God knew I believe. No, what?
I was immature child, didn't know no better. I'm following
exactly. No. Exactly. I got that part, but it just shook me. Y'all, I guess we gotta move on, but it just shook me. That's all. So yeah, I just think that's a question that people, that's one of them. Because then you can find out about their family when you tap into that, because they're gonna tell you, oh well. So used to take me to church, or they didn't even go with me to church. They just sent me to church, because I've seen some where the parents didn't even go. They just had the church bus or church van come pick them up, right? So that's why I was saying you can find a lot about people, and it can go deeper just by some of these, questions. They're open. They're open. They're open-ended questions that can send you down, in a great conversation to get a lot of information about their family history. When it comes to that kind of stuff, where they're kids or where they're a teenager or where they're in college and they did it on their own because of some traumatic event, all that stuff is where this can kind of lead you. And then you can know where they are in that journey. Girl, honey, I was holding my face. I had my the palm. So the palm of my hands is at the bottom of up underneath my cheek. And I had my fingertips all the way up to my hair on the side of my face. And I'm just like, what she say? That she was what?
One paying attention, just ignorant.
Yeah.
Bad and ignorant.
Wait a minute. You had to be bad. Let me take this back because I said, I wasn't bad. So that was a lie. So in elementary with my friends at school, it didn't last long. It probably lasted for 3 years. Because the way we were treating other kids, it didn't, even as a kid, it didn't feel right to me. We were bullies. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was horrible. And we used to fight each other so we could be prepared to fight the kids, right?
Yeah.
But it's so stupid because we were bullies. So we didn't even have to fight each other prepared because we were just picking on people. To be honest, I can even say I feel we picked on a little girl. One of my best friends, I was talking to her about it because out of that little pack of us, and like I said, we were elementary, we were like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I think by 6th grade, we were over it. But I recall I was having a conversation with her and just saying, man, I wish I could apologize to, there was 2 girls that really stood out, that I feel it was too much. And I told her, and she was like, girl, blowing it off like, oh, they fine. I said, it's not about if they're fine, because you don't know, and you don't know the trauma you can cause someone. And I told her, and I said, I really think we was picking on one girl, and I really do, because she had long, pretty, silky, straight hair. She looked like she was mixed with some type of a Native American. And here we are, as I say, the little girls with the little rough hair, right? and every last one of us that was in this group. And I said, I wonder if we did that because she was soft, she was quiet, she was pretty, and we took advantage of that, right? This is an adult looking back now. And then there was another girl, she was rough looking, but she was not like us, right?
Yeah.
And we did it to a lot of them, but this one I felt really, really bad as an adult. It made me think, like, did that affect her, like down the road? And I remember one of my best friends was just like, girl, no. I'm like, but here's the thing. You don't know the trauma that you can cause on someone. So anyway, but I did, when I got into sports and got in middle school, I wasn't even into that kind of stuff. But even by 6th grade, we kind of fell off from it, because the other 2 girls that was with us, they were sisters, and they did move away. And I kind of think we fell into what they were doing, because they were bad. So I think we fell into that because we didn't do it when they left, when we had that one last year of elementary school. We just kind of like was okay. We were jokesters, but we weren't bullying people. We never lost a fight. It was horrible. So I did go through a phase, but never with my family, cousins. I didn't show that side there, but I'm glad I did get away from that.
Yeah, me as well, because like I said, I was a bully until the girl beat me up. Bullying
wait a minute, I didn't know you got beat up. You got beat up?
Girl, yeah, in elementary, bullying a new girl, come to school, instead of trying to welcome the girl, I want to bully the girl. That girl waited after school and whoop my, for real, the whole, and I'm like friends with everybody at school, the boys and the girls, they laughing. You got beat up the next day. Yeah, I did. That taught me right there. Stop the bullying.
Okay. Yeah. I don't recall any of us getting beat up. One of us even fought a boy and didn't lose. I don't recall that. We were bad girls. We were some rough little bad kids. But
but this girl was a big girl. She was an Amazon, and I was a little bitty girl.
That's the girl. But that's the girl I'm talking about. That I really, really. She was an Amazon, but she still couldn't fight. And that's the one that I really wanted to know. I just I would, if it affected her down the road, because we were just bad.
When little kids, we were little too, because when I got bullying, I couldn't stand it. But little, we
just got away from that and didn't want to.
Yeah, thank God.
To nobody else. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank God for Jesus.
Yes, thank God for your belief finally in Jesus.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I did, so I would say for me, it wasn't about believing in Jesus, right? What I like to do is I'd like to pick people's brain, and that's what I did. Was I told you I got my dad nerves. I dove deeper and deeper. I needed answers, about Jesus. That's what I did. But to be honest, I was 7. That I can recall. So it could have been before that, right? But I clearly remember 1st grade, because my birthday's late, right? So I turned 6, kindergarten, and I was 7 in 1st grade. But I do recall, and I always did. I used to. The only thing I don't like, I always picture him as a white guy, because back then my mom had the white Jesus on the wall. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't either. But but I always believe
not Jesus.
I didn't hear you say what you say.
I said, but I pictured that picture as God, not Jesus.
Oh my God, this is so crazy.
I said that's why after I learned that, I was like, please. After I learned that, no more of that. Like I had to. You had people. You listened.
Yeah,
you listened. So you learned, and I didn't listen, and I didn't learn until I got old enough to read. And follow a pastor that I was following and wasn't even following what he was saying. But I realized now I'm listening to this person forever and ever and ever, ever. You better read, like they said, read for yourself, get convicted, get a relationship, read. And I just started reading. Start anything that I could think in it would happen. I would read. And that's how I realized that now I believe in Jesus, because I got to go through Jesus, because I'm talking to Jesus now. Jesus, God, I got to talk to Jesus to get God, so God can do what he said he's going to do, because you got to go through his son. So yeah, older age. I'm sorry, Lord, but
No, I mean, that's your path. Yeah. I got you.
You know your people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You remind me of somebody said, oh, these church people kill me. Then when you're trying to make an excuse, say, oh, well, you know my heart. Like, no, stop saying God know your heart. Do better.
Yeah. He knew me. I don't know about
I'm like, heart. I'm so glad I've never used that. I never said, well, God knows my heart. Now, I've never tried to use the
heart. Yeah, but he knew me. I said he knew me. I don't know about no heart now. God knew me. He knew me. He knew that he gonna give me another half of a life century, or another century of, over 50. I know I'm gonna have a long life. So that little ignorant part, that little child ignorant part, I learned in that prior life.
Yeah, everybody got their own path.
Life.
Yeah. It was just shocking to me.
Jesus. Yeah. For real. A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people keep stuff in because they be scared to say or tell it. Hey, why?
Man, look, they better tell the truth. We all got some shortcomings. Ain't nobody walking around here perfect. Okay. They better cut that out.
Why are you scared of people?
Yeah. And why you want to seem perfect? That don't make any sense.
Yeah. Oh. And get over what people think. When you get over what people think, then people
how these folks don't even be thinking about you. You think they thinking about you. You think these folks ain't thinking about you.
Get over what people think. Keep pushing.
Yeah, people are too self-serving, and if they are thinking about you, it's short-lived. Go on about your child.
Short-lived. The attention span so small, so short. Yeah.
So they on to the next mess.
The next mess. That's right. Yeah. And we're not going to the next mess. That's why we believing in Jesus. So that's going to be a question, people. You see how deep we went. And if you go out on a date or you go on a relationship, that could lead to a long conversation. Where did you first?
Y'all going to be laughing at each other. Like I'm up here laughing at my cousin.
Yeah.
Shocking me, talking about she was mocking my grandmother.
Baby used to be up under her leg every morning she got up, because I was sleeping. She wouldn't let me sleep with her because her and granddaddy. But she would put a bed on the side of her bed, and I'd be on that bed. So when she got up and first thing she would do would get up and pray, get on that floor and
on the floor,
pray. And I would get up under her and be up under her and marking her lips and laughing and everything. And when she went past, I would go to her and be like, so me marking you, this what this is. Me marking you up under there, marking your lips. I sure do. I did, when she first went away, but now I kind of like don't need to say it anymore because I told her so much.
Right. Wow.
Baby, she installed it in me. I'm telling you, like, what? Let me be a pastor.
Let who be a pastor?
Let me be a pastor.
Well, she was what 50. She told me, after that heart attack, she told me, I decided. I told God, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Yeah. So you never know what he has for you.
You never know. Yeah. Never.
That's funny, girl. That's because because I was walking around as so the only thing for me with that was I knew that she was a pastor, and I put her on a pedestal. That was my I believed in it. I believed in her. I never questioned or thought she was crazy. I was a kid, but I thought she was better than me because I felt she was closer to him than I was. And I do believe that probably where that praying twice. I mean, that praying twice a day probably came from. I recall Granny used to always be my prayer about who I wanted to be like. And so that I think for me, that's I'm like, dog, and you was right there. You want I would have been soaking that up.
That was my
thing that my friend. I thought was something, people, they said Granny had a gift.
Yeah, she did. She was my friend. She was my friend. No. I did everything.
No. I'm saying they said that Granny had the gift of being able to see stuff, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
spirit, yeah.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
for me, that was the only thing when I was younger I didn't believe in.
And that's
I
what we used
didn't.
to laugh at. Yeah.
I didn't believe in people that said they can see something in the future. I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
So when they told me that that was, you know, what she could do, I used to be like, okay. That was the only, but I was a kid. That was the only thing that I really questioned.
She used to be
But
my
the pastor thing, I really did. I was proud that she was my grandmother.
Yeah.
Because pastors are so close to Jesus. Because they are called. I do believe you have to be called, and all of them aren't called. But I do know she was, because she told me her personal experience. So I for the pastors who are called, I do think it's special. He entrusts them with us. And so I've always, where you gonna go? Oh, I've always held her up to a high level. I did, even when I would see her. I actually even, I think a part of me as a child even kind of shied away a little bit, because I felt she was just so, you know what I'm saying? So I saw her differently than you did. But that's just because of all my churches that, you know, you see a pastor, and they're teaching you, and then I see my grandmother, and she's teaching and she's baptizing her grandchildren. You know, so I see all this, and so I held her up so high. You know,
I did because she was my grandmother, not because of that. Because in a way, Lord, you convicted me to say this, but I'm gonna say this because in a way, I was shamed, because I would go to school and people around me be like, "There go such and such, grandmama is a preacher." You know, they would jank on me and stuff all the time. So I'm kind of like shamed.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was different.
But see, I didn't get the grandmother experience because I think I didn't get the grandmother experience. For one, my father did not take us to his mother's house. My mama did.
Sure
Two,
did.
I think because I'm talking about as a little kid, she had the store and she had her church. So she's always busy. You see what I'm saying? So I did, even when I spent the night over her house, I was always with my siblings, right? So I don't feel I was able to get a connection with her on the grandmother level, right? I didn't get that. And so, but I always paid attention to the fact that she was a preacher. And so that's the part that I stayed in tune with.
You got a difference. Yeah.
I stayed in tune with it, because I remember when I was going through my divorce, I did call her, and I was talking to her, and, you know, we was having something. She gave me some advice, you know, telling me some stuff, and we went way back, you know. So I would go to her and have conversations, but it was still, to be honest, because she was a woman of God, it's why I was going to her. I wasn't going to her because she was my grandmother. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's just how I viewed her. Yeah.
And I would go to
her. My mother's mother, that was just my grandma.
That's your grandma. Yeah. But see, I would go to Granny as Granny, not as no pastor, nothing like that. Like Granny. What this? You get what I'm saying? So it was totally different. It was opposite. You and I. Totally. And but again, you were younger.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Because by the time I came into Granny had to be, let me see.
She's probably
close to 60. Yeah, probably close to 60.
And I used to be everywhere, like the store. We ran the store.
Girl, she was 58. She was 58 when I was born. She's close to 60. So it was a totally different experience. Yeah, absolutely.
Totally different. Yeah. But she always was my protector. I didn't understand.
Because, you know, those daughters, not to be funny, those daughters.
Yeah.
And so she had her daughter's kids. So and then them sons had their kids, you know. My dad had his, and you know, I don't know he had his, but them daughters, they didn't have them, you know. So I mean, so it makes sense why you guys, you know, was closer on
And I think that goes down and keep going down in generation, because if a mother has the daughter kids, but the son has their kids, and you know why they have their kids? Because they with that wife.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be with that wife, you're gonna be with those kids. When the daughter is, even if she is with the husband, the mama still gonna get them kids. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, like, if the daughter,
I think it's come from activity, how active you are, because even with my parents, my brother wasn't as active as he should be. My mom always had his kids. So I don't know. I don't think that's based on gender. I just think it happened to be a lot of these girls, a lot of these women. But I think a lot of these women, just because, and remember, I think we've had this conversation in the beginning of our podcasting series. I think just because you are the woman and the child are with you, I don't think they always are parenting. And so grandparents step in. And so what that is, I don't think it's tied to just because it's a girl. It's just that girl is closer to her mother. And if she's, because just because you have a husband don't mean you still being a parent. Just like a man don't mean you being a parent because you at the house, right? So meaning women got our faults, right? Well, our shortcomings, and our mothers are right there to pick us up. And because a lot of these single homes where it's just a woman, the grandmama's right there. The grandmother's right there. So that's what I'm saying. It don't matter if it's a husband or not a husband. It just and that's what I think is just tied to. Women have to be held accountable to the fact that they're not doing what they're supposed to do either. Even when they're the ones who have them, because the grandparents have them most of the time.
Say it.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I like this episode, you guys, tonight. Just make sure you part of the dating. Make sure you have that conversation, you know.
And it'll end the date.
Oh,
it won't end the date. You'll just probably know so much that, baby, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So ask those questions so you can. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Where are you now? You know.
Me and my daughter. It was shocking, girl. We had a long conversation today. When I say long, an hour with her is long. With the boys, it could be like 2-3. But with her, if you can get an hour, that's long. And we haven't talked like that in a while. And just her disappointment of men, of what she has to look forward to. You know, she goes to college next year. She graduates. And so she was just like, wow. And I was like, but the beauty of it all is that you get to, your eyes are way open more than mine was. And mine was open, but yours, you're so much more advanced, right? That you can take in the knowledge that I'm trying to have you read, hear. And I told her, like, even with my parents, my cousins, there were things I looked at and I pulled from them and said, I'm going to use. And there were things I looked at and I said, don't want that. And I said, the beauty is, because you're already ahead, you can also do that. You have so many different things that you can use to help you not make decisions due to either low self-esteem or lack of something, or whatever. Because she hadn't started dating yet, and it's her senior year. And I told her, believe it or not, I think that's good. Watch everybody else.
Observe,
don't rush to it. I said, I'm not trying to get you out here in these streets. And I said, but pay attention to what you were taught and then what you caught, because you weren't taught everything, but you could look at some stuff and realize, oh, but you caught that. You paid attention. And
be in tune, baby. Be in tune.
Yeah. And she has, 3 brothers that are older than her. And I said, and so you can learn and watch what they do, how they are. And when you have those deep conversations, you can pull from them and push away and, and do all that kind of stuff. So, I'm not a grandmother yet. Neither of my children are married yet. And so this opportunity that we have right now to hopefully change the dynamics of our bloodline would also be her talking to her brothers, because she told me, she'd be like, what if it was your sister? What if that was your daughter? That kind of stuff, to have them think about what they're doing. Even though they're older than her, there's still some stuff that they can get from her because she's a female, right? Out here in this dating world at this time. Yeah. So stop watching out for that comes on. Oh Lord, I forgot I'm on the podcast.
Maybe it's good that she's not dating because
Yeah.
this climate is like nothing to offer. This world.
That's what she said. She's been paying attention, and she's like, "Oh my God, like the boys? No, at my school, you know." She talked about how loud they are, pants sagging, they smoking weed. She's looking at all that, and she's just like, "No,
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't want that, you know. So we've had those conversations about, you know, older and how much older and all that kind of stuff, and foundation and
yeah. That's good.
So I told her, I like where you are. You have the right to say no. I don't want to date you. Not, you know, not that way, but you get to look at them and make good decisions. Doesn't mean your life is going to be perfect, but you can put yourself in a better position by paying attention, not being the loudest person in the room.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just all right, you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. WUW.
Yep, and we will be back on Tuesday because, of course, we are every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, however you listen to your podcast, you will find us. Kim and Latrice from Startup to Takeover. Good night.
Good night.